Okay, question 5. All three energy-yielding nutrients can contribute excess calories, but fat provides some satiety, but has the highest calories per gram, is most easily consumed without awareness. From the Reports tab, we're going to look at the intake spreadsheet report and look at fat specifically. Okay, and for day 1 of my recorded food intake, followed by day 2 and day 3. So looking at all 3 separate days individually. Trying to identify which day contained the highest amount of fat. So for me, that was day 2, because I've already looked at this. Which foods contributed the most fat in the day? What would you say led to higher intake of fat on this day compared to another? Which part of the day did you consume the most fat? Were you aware of the foods you're eating, or were you doing something else whilst watching TV? Okay, so I've already gone through this. Let's go to where we need to go. So the report name is intake spreadsheet report. Here, and I'm going to be looking at fat. Alright, so this is day 1. I already know, just to save you time on the recording, that my day 2 was the highest of all 3 days. If you have to scroll down, so the first sort of big table is actually just the diet log. So what meal, the serve size, the relative weight, but the calories of that food. And then we start the main intake spreadsheet, and then we're just looking at focusing on the fat column here, looking at each individual food and how many grams of fat that contributed. So my total day's fat intake was above what I needed at 107.6 grams total, and I identified 4 specific foods that were the greatest contributors of fat. So in descending order, the first food was the avocado, a whole avocado that I consumed, I think, at lunch. Yep. Then there was also the oily fish for the evening meal, a 6-ounce fillet of salmon, providing 18 grams of fat. Thirdly, we have a 3-ounce dark 70% chocolate bar, providing 18 grams of fat. And lastly, there was one of the food that I've mentioned. And that was using olive oil here. So just a tablespoon of olive oil added a further 13.5 grams of fat. So I've just popped that into a sentence here, or a couple of sentences really. One thing I did observe, I consumed the most fat within my evening meal because I ate an oily fish and I cooked it in more oil. That was a conscious food choice, but maybe I could have used a spray oil to reduce my fat and calorie intake. Later in the evening, I did choose to have a glass of red wine. That probably, upon reflection, and as part of this exercise, you're being asked to reflect and really critically think about what food sort of factors informed your food choices for this day and why. So drinking that red wine probably led me to snack on the nice little dark chocolate bar alongside the wine, because we know that's quite a nice food combination. And then this could have been a less mindful food choice than me cooking the salmon in oil at dinner, because I think I was more than likely watching TV or online on my phone at this time, so a much less a lower state of awareness, I guess, from a food consumption point of view. I think I didn't answer one aspect, which was, what would you say led to the higher intake of fat on this day as compared to another? So I'd probably need to add in a statement about the other days here. So I know this already because I've already scanned through it, but if I look at my day 1, it was overall much lower in fat, much more sensible, and I could probably discuss that I consumed I didn't consume a whole avocado, for example. The sources of fat were similar, but the choices of protein was much lower in fat. I still consumed 2 portions of full fat cheese and full fat dairy, but really it's the oily fish that added things up, and I didn't snack on chocolate either that day. So that could be one sort of sentence to say how day 1 stacks up to compared to day 2. My day 3 was a surprise because on day 3 I did actually have, I think I recorded 3 slices of pretty high fat cheesy pizza, but overall I ate less on that day. So really it did all balance out, and I still was quite a lot less lower on my fat intake versus day 2. So yeah, in this answer I probably need to add in a sentence or two to reflect that as well. Okay, so that concludes this assignment and the the screen recording of just some helpful hints for you to complete that. Feel free to watch this as many times as you need. If you have any specific questions, please get in touch. I'm always available, as I stress all the time, by email, and I'm very happy to use things like Zoom if you would like to try a virtual face-to-face kind of conversation. We can do that about this assignment or anything really about the course, your grade, or any issues that I can be helping you with. I really hope you're all staying safe, keeping healthy, and take care. And please reach out if you need me. All right, all the best.